Welcome back to the channel. I'm Joe Potter and this is the Vintage Underground. I thought I'd take a little bit different tact today and kind of show you what it takes to do this. It takes a lot of room, a lot of space to do what we do. And I thought I'd just go through our various spaces and kind of how the equipment and the cars are placed in that and give you a feel for what it actually takes to do this at this size. I think we're currently 26 people and we occupy 39,000 square feet. We do classic restorations, have for many years. We do bespoke builds. We do EV builds, electric vehicle builds. We have a full media department, of course the offices and support staff. And again, all that just takes a lot of room and it's pretty varied. So we have a lot of different skill sets and equipment that have to live in the same area. And so I thought I'd walk you through today and show you what that is and at least for us, how that flows and works. So this is our showroom, and in the list of things that we do, I didn't list that we sold cars. It's not a mainstay, it's not something we do a lot of. We use this space to showcase some of our work and also to sell some of our clients' cars. If they're ready to move into something else, we'll help them move it, and that's what we use this space for. So it's reasonably small, but it serves us. Like I say, it's not a mainstay, but it's something that really allows us to kind of showcase what we do sometimes as well. So, all right, let's go look at the EV. This is our EV build area. We keep this isolated from the normal operation, and the reason we do that is it requires a little bit of a cleaner environment, a little more of a clean room environment than your standard restoration and build area. It also has a safety element built in, and that is we're dealing with these a lot of batteries, and it has a lot of potential for things to go wrong that doesn't mix well with the normal build and restoration area. So we have to do some things here for safety that makes it worthwhile to isolate the space. So one of the things we kind of deal with on the EV area is really no different than we build a normal car, normal restoration that's internal combustion engine. If we build an engine and a transmission and even a rear end, we'll mount them on a test stand and run them on the engine dyno to prove them out and set them up long before they ever go into the car. And it's true of the electrical components on an EV build as well. And that's what we've got going on here is we'll just lay out all the components that are going to be in the car and on a board and wire them with batteries and make them do their thing. So we can prove them out, and we can do the programming, we can do all that kind of stuff outside of the car and then just build the car. So it's actually a very similar process to doing a normal ICE build, but it's a bunch of electrical components laid out on a panel and some programming, which is pretty cool. And this is, for this particular E-type build, is the motor and transmission, and this will sit in the rear. And this is unique to how we do EV builds, so there's no transmission, there's no drive line, there's no rear end. Everything's been completely replaced. So we do a lot of engineering and a lot of build to create that structure. And so this replaces the internal combustion engine, the transmission, the drive line, the rear end, all that, and this structure here. So it's pretty cool. So we do a lot of fabrication, design, and engineering for that. We don't do EV conversions, we do builds, and it's an engineered build, it's a pretty dramatically different way to go at it. But it also adds the element of a lot of CAD and engineering design, and getting into things like 3D printers and a lot of CNC work to create componentry to get this done. And this is upholstery. And this is another one that is really worthwhile keeping away from the normal restoration process, especially like body and paint, where there's a lot of dust and chemicals. And you get into, we're doing some heavy restoration work and welding and that kind of stuff. So this is another area that really is nice to have isolated and not next door to that. And that's why that the upholstery is in this building, kind of over here, by itself. So we do mostly our own work. Damn near 100% of it is just our own internal builds. A lot of those are full restorations. A lot of those, some of them we're doing partial rebuilds and that kind of stuff. So almost a fully in-house operation. This one is actually the number 2 E-type coupe we're doing right now for an electric build. Still has to have a full interior, but it also is somewhat custom. We're retaining a lot of the original aspects of the E-type interior, but we're also doing some custom console work and dash work because it's no longer what it was. It has electrical components, and that's different instrumentation and different buttons, and so a lot of custom work. Anything that's missing on the interior we make, and that's true of almost anything on a car like this, these handmade, very low production cars. We end up making a lot of stuff, and on the interior we have to have the capability to produce wood pieces and wood structure and veneers and backings and panels out of either out of wood or alloy, and we have to create all that stuff. There's just nowhere to buy it. It doesn't exist. So our upholstery shop is a little bit more intense or broad than a lot, because we have to have quite a bit more capability. It's not ever a situation where we're getting in a catalog and ordering much of anything. We order raw materials, upholsteries and leathers and vinyls and whatever we're using, but we're creating almost everything. We buy very little. All right, that's this building. An eclectic mix with our showroom, our offices, the electric vehicle builds, and upholstery. The common thread there is that those processes require the cleanest areas, and so this building is definitely our cleanest building, and that's why these varied departments are in here. So next we'll go over and look at the main building, which houses our mechanical and our body and paint. And definitely, I don't want to say dirtier, but there's welding and paint and body and dust and things going on. That's all part of the restoration process. And so the more traditional area that you'll be used to. So we do appreciate y'all. Please do like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.